How you doing, Adonis?
I'm good. How you doing?
So, as your social worker, my duty is to care for you, to respect your privacy, to maintain confidentiality, to inform, to report, and to warn and protect. So, Adonis, how has your day been?
I mean, it could have been better, but you guys good.
Why you say that?
Well, classes are alright. School is kind of a trouble. Is giving me trouble, and I just received some disturbing news from one of my friends.
Disturbing news?
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to fly back to the Virgin Islands because a good friend of mine, a mentor, just passed out last Sunday morning. And
Mentor?
yes.
And you lived in the Virgin Islands in the past?
Oh yeah, like I moved to the Virgin Islands when I was 12 until recently, 2 years ago. That's when I came to New York after Hurricane Maria and Hurricane Irma.
So, this person that passed away, you had some sort of connection with them? Or?
I did. When I went to the Virgin Islands, that was one of the first persons who took care of me. They holded me down and they actually kept me going. When English was a big barrier for me, and that person had me down for it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, your English is very good now. I'm sure
Thank you.
they would be proud of you.
I hope so. Like she didn't get the chance to see me again, but
Yeah.
I hope so.
What was her name, if you don't mind?
Her name was Miss Cardi.
Miss Cardi.
Yeah.
She was your English professor.
No, she was actually my math professor, but she used to pick on me because my English, normal. But
Okay.
yeah.
And so you're planning on going to the Virgin Islands?
Unfortunately, yes, I will have to go back.
Unfortunately, why?
Well, being in the Virgin Islands wasn't easy. I had to learn how to live on the street, how to survive on the street down there, being considered part of the minority society. And going there now after the hurricane, once I left my friends and things like that, is like going to a past that I actually don't want to visit anymore.
When you say being a part of a minority, what minority were you a part of?
So, unlike here in the United States, where you have black community and the Spanish community, in the Virgin Islands, you have the black community and the Spanish community always having conflict between each other, since basically in history, Spanish people were the ones to slave African Americans. So they have always had that conflict against us, and it makes us like, you know, always be on a beef, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's life.
Yeah. So, do you think going back to the Virgin Islands is a good idea? Just like under the circumstances that you're in right now. I don't know how school's treating you or how your social life is treating you. If you want to touch on that.
Mm, my social life here in Syracuse has been getting better. Schoolwork been getting worse. I mean, I guess that's what every typical student will say.
Yeah.
But regarding whether it's a good time for me to go to the Virgin Islands or not, honestly, that's a question that I don't know how to answer. Since I know that once I get to the Virgin Islands, I will have to touch back into my past, which is something that I would want to.
Yeah. I could see how going back to the Virgin Islands, and since you were part of the minority, you probably went through a lot of stuff with your friends or with your family. So, yeah, probably going back to the Virgin Islands would benefit you, or it would get you deeper in a hole. How do you feel about just revisiting a bunch of your old friends, and old family members and things like that, and meeting up with them, seeing that you're going through all these problems and stuff like that right now here?
Some part of me wanna go and visit my friends. I mean, of course I miss them. Those were my guys. Those were my friends. But the type of life that people live down there is not the type of life that I want to follow. So I know that revisiting the Virgin Islands, even though I will have a good connection with my friends, I will see them back. I will interact with them.
Mhm.
It would be a vivid memory of what I didn't want to become, and I know that my personality would drastically change once I get there, because I will have to revisit all those memories that I want to get rid of. I will have to become this person that I'm no longer am, and I'm pretty sure that that's something that would affect my behavior once I come back to New York City, here to the, I mean, not New York City, but to college again. I won't be the same person anymore.
So you think that by going back to the Virgin Islands, your personality would change a little bit
Oh,
because you're revisiting the Virgin Islands, or do you think that some old elements will basically cause you to act a certain way?
I would say that it wouldn't be just the revisiting part. It would be more like my social life there and the role that I play in the Virgin Islands when I was there. That would be the two things that will impact my life going on forward. Like things that happened on my past, or things that still haunt me up to today. And it's those are things that I know that once I touch ground on there, are gonna come back, seeing old friends, old relationships that I haven't seen for a long time, and getting involved in that past life that I was so hard trying to leave behind. That's something that would push me back to being the angry person that I was, you know, in that environment that is just not good to have,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you want to talk about anything in specific about which what you're talking about in terms of the negativity in the Virgin Islands?
Well, to give you more of an insight of what I went through, it would be, for example, when I was in the Virgin Islands still, my best friend Juan, he died. Gang related violence. I'm not gonna say that he was the nicest guy, at least for us he was. He was always this kid that was helping the poor, things like that, but not in the most fair way, to put it that way. I don't want to make him seem like a bad person, but he didn't do good things, to put it that way. He showed me about the street behavior. He showed me how to be part of the streets, how to be street wise,
Mm-hmm.
not just book smart.
Mm-hmm.
And after his death, things went south, and there had just been conflict between the minorities down there, since he was the person that controlled it, the Hispanic faction of it. And after his death, it's just been a mess. I was supposed to be one of the person to take control after his death, to keep everything on power, in order. And yeah, the hurricane happened, and I ended up coming here to New York. And now going back to the Virgin Islands, it will put me on the spot, a spot that I don't want to have anymore.
It's crazy how a hurricane basically brought you here because you moved to the Bronx, right?
Yeah, correct.
And you went to high school in the Bronx, and which brought you into coming to college and here in Syracuse. So do you think that if that hurricane didn't happen, you would have taken on that role that you were talking about?
Definitely, definitely. I know that even though I would have had taken that road, I would have been making an impact on the islands down there, probably for best. But I know for a fact that my behavior wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't be the person that I am today. The hurricane actually made me change as a person, as a whole. And if I had stayed in the Virgin Islands, I probably wouldn't be the person that I am right now. I would be a completely different person. Probably not so much in the streets, you know, but definitely on the streets still. Not, I wouldn't have achieved the things that I achieved today.